They tell me I'm small, but I've learned small faith moves mountains. This platform might look quiet right now, but purpose doesn't need permission. Sometimes the smallest voices are trusted with the biggest stories. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. But this platform's small, but God's not gonna take. And we never ever know what love can do once it's shared. I'm not rich in numbers, not loud on the screen, but every case I cover got weight in between. Faces on flyers, names people forget. I speak them out loud so they're never silenced. Yet I don't chase clout, I chase truth. Every live stream feels like a prayer in the booth. For the mom still waiting, the dad still searching, for the families hurting while the world keeps turning. They say, what can one voice read do? But I've seen hope rise when the community moves. So I show up steady, even when it's heavy, trusting God with the parts I can't carry. Got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never know what love can do once it's shared. Every time I go live, I ask one thing: send prayers up higher than algorithms, because awareness is good, but faith goes further, and prayer reaches places we never could. I don't promise answers, I promise care. A space where compassion still lives right here. Victim-focused, truth-driven, heart-led, always standing in the gap on the hardest days. If you're watching this tired, scared, or alone, I hope you feel seen through the screen in your home, because God hears whispers, not just the loud, and He's working right now, even in the crowd. So we pray for the missing every single time. We pray for the answers in God's perfect time. Small seeds planted, faith multiplied. Miracles don't need a spotlight. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. Still believing God's moving, even today. Small but mighty, called by name. And I trust what He's doing even when I can't see the way. This is Mo and Cole. Say a prayer for the missing. Say a prayer for their families. And before you go, say your prayers. Take your vitamins. And remember, even something small can do really big things.
Hey guys, how are we today? I'm so glad to see you all. I've been having a time getting in here today. I had to redo everything on my background and all that, but I'm glad that I get here early so I can figure it out. And then my stream wouldn't start. It had started for a whole minute on my side before it started on YouTube, so I have no idea what happened. I'm so glad to see you guys. We have Brad and Aaron. Good to see you guys. And Miss Robinson, good to see you too. And Tony, good afternoon. How are you? Hippie Chick, how are you? And there's Miss Alma. So good to see you. It's good to see all you guys. I it hasn't even been a whole week since I was here last. It's only been like 4 days, right? I was here last Thursday on the 1st, and you guys, we have a really, really good update. Let me show you guys that. Remember, we were speaking about Sydney, and she had been missing since December 11th, and she had been diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia, remember? And she had walked away from her car. Well, a few hours that same night after we did our live stream, she was found. And don't get excited yet because they let her go. And we know that that happens sometimes, and there needs to be some kind of new law, some kind of something, because remember, her dad even had medical power of attorney over her, but they let her go that day. But just, I think it was, so it was the early morning hours of the second when she was located. Then she was located again, just a few hours after that. And this time she was reunited with her family, and she is getting the treatment that she needs. Thank God, you guys. Thank God, thank God. Like I've been telling some of my other friends, how often is it? Definitely not often enough that a missing person isn't even found once. And Sydney was located twice in just a few hours, you know? So I'm so, so, so very thankful for that. And I wanted to play you guys a video that her mama made. And so I'll show you guys that before we get into our topic for today.
I'm gonna make a quick video. You guys know I don't like any of this stuff, but a lot of people want to know what's going on. Yes, Sydney's getting the help that she needs. Yes, she was found yesterday. I believe strongly, actually I know who took her on December 11. But thank God, all glory to God for guiding our steps, for my daughters that put all this noise out there. Thank God somebody saw Sydney today, and right now she's getting the help that she needs. And I'm so grateful. Please continue to pray for my Sydney. It's gonna be a long recovery. I do hope that the police finish doing the job, because there's a lot of bad people out there. And the police know that I know all this information. So hopefully they cut all those bad people. They need to do a lot of work themselves.
She just said that the police know that she knows, and they need to get all the bad people. And that hit my brain, and I hope that they do, because a lot of the times when people with mental health problems, they're not a danger to others, you know. It's their safety that I worry about. People take advantage of people like that a whole lot.
As well. But thank you. No news, press, nothing. Thank you so much. All it matters is that we can help Sydney. We can help, all these mental health issues out there. No, she was not a rebellious girl that she just wanted to leave the house. No, that was not the case. I know my daughter. I have a lot of information now. It all began with anxiety, so So yeah, I'll definitely be very involved with just recollecting the early signs, what lead us into this mess, because it's only a very short time that we saw Sydney just getting all this anxiety and relying on this ugly stuff. Let me show it to you.
And what she's about to show you guys, I I don't know what's in that, but if it's just nicotine, I am a big old hypocrite because I do it too.
Hold on. Sorry. This. Oh my God. This needs to stop. Don't do this, guys. So many chemicals. Please don't do it. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you, thank you.
So bless Luz and her big sisters. You guys remember she has 3 big sisters too. So bless all of them. I am so glad. So glad for that. And let me see if there's anything else that I and a video did come out, and they are saying that that let me see if I can find it. They are saying that the Jersey Village Police Department, I don't see that video here, but they are saying that they didn't do anything wrong by letting her go the first time. And they do show a body cam, and she does seem very coherent to me. So I can't really blame them. I mean, I do blame them, but you guys feel me. You guys know what I'm saying. Let me see if this is it. I don't think that's it. Let me see here. I think this might be it.
Up first tonight, we have obtained exclusive surveillance video showing the moment Jersey Village officers approached Sydney Marquez overnight.
She had been missing for weeks, and even though her family believes she's going through a mental crisis right now, Jersey Village PD is defending their decision to let her go, a move her family still doesn't agree with tonight.
Orko Manna joins us live from the Jersey Village Police Department with the video and much more. Orko.
Well, Mia, Jersey Village police say after speaking with Sydney Marquez, officers determined that she was not in danger, adding that she requested to leave of her own free will. But Sydney's family, who still hasn't heard from her, tells me that they believe police should have done more to help her.
You stay right there, we won't put you in.
What are you paid for?
Exclusive ring camera video shows Jersey Village police officers speaking with who's believed to be 24-year-old Sydney Marquez. She was reported missing on December 11th.
Okay, so I noticed that this video was before that she was found the second time, but I still wanted to show you guys. I would be angry if I was the parents too, of course, but I just think that it's right for me to show this side too and what they're saying.
11th, and more than 3 weeks later, someone spotted Sydney around 1 o'clock this morning near Seattle Street and Senate Avenue. Officers responded and recognized Sydney from a missing person flyer.
Right now, it's saying you're a missing person. We have an obligation to...
Okay, you found me. Congratulations. I'm 24 years old. I am an adult. I am not missing. You found me. Congratulations.
Police say after speaking with Sydney, officers determined that the legal criteria for an emergency detention order were not met. EMS did a medical evaluation and found no visible...
And I do also want to say that the police agreed not to show this, not to release this camera footage, but the owner of the ring, he released it, and he has something to say too here at the end.
signs of trauma and no need for further medical attention. Police say Sydney asked to be let go, and as an adult, she was released and removed from missing status.
And all they did was take her vitals. That's not a proper mental health, psychiatric evaluation.
Sydney's family tells me they don't agree with police who say Sydney did not appear to be in crisis. What do you make of that?
This is exactly what we were worried about. The cops finding her, releasing her, saying that she's simply not at risk because she's not suicidal. But it doesn't mean that her behaviors are safe. It doesn't mean that she has the capacity to make these decisions.
Loved ones say Sydney is bipolar, hasn't been taking her medication, and should have been brought to a hospital for questioning.
Have them determine Sydney's state of mind, not the police officers. Someone who knows how to handle this diagnosis.
Police say officers offered Sydney.
I definitely agree with that too. They do take training, I'm sure, through the police academy and probably continued education, but still I don't feel that them or even EMS are equipped enough to handle, to make a diagnosis like that she's okay.
Hotel accommodations and food, but she refused. The resident whose Ring camera captured the initial encounter this morning tells me it appears officers did everything they could.
They were basically very professional, and she seemed not too eager to go with him. The young lady seemed very aware of the situation.
Now, Orko, did Sydney's family at least get a chance to speak with her while she was with the officers?
Ron, her family tells me that they were on the phone with police while Sydney was with officers, but she refused to speak with them. Reporting live from Jersey Village tonight, Orko.
And there is one more thing that I wanted to show you guys. The messages from the person who found her the first time. Her sister Kayla goes over that right here.
Actually found Sydney, and the only reason that he recognized us was,
and it says Sydney is alive and well. She should have been picked up by the Jersey Village Police near Houston. Please check in with them. And she says, hi, I'm praying this is real. How do you know? And so they weren't even contacted. It was the person who saw her that contacted them.
Was by the help of social media. So he actually met with Sydney. I don't know the details of that, but he did tell me during their conversation she would often jump from topic to topic, and he found that it was.
And that says, I confirmed with them that they were talking to her, and she says, thank you for calling. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I'm having a rough time.
Update on my missing sister, Sydney Marcus. A concerned citizen actually found Sydney, and the only reason that he recognized us was by the help of social media. So he actually met with Sydney. I don't know the details of that, but he did tell me during their conversation she would often jump from topic to topic, and he found that it was.
He said, no, mentally she needs help or medication. She said she had been off lithium for a while. She would jump to so many different subjects. It was hard to keep up. I hope she gets back with you all soon. She needs family. And she says, thank you. You're an angel.
That it was very strange, and to him this immediately rang alarm bells to him. He put some of their topics into Google, and he immediately found that this was my missing sister, Sydney Marcus. Once he had confirmation that the police had picked her up, he kindly messaged me on Facebook to let me know that she has been found, and taken by the authorities with the hopes of her getting a proper mental health evaluation. Since he was very concerned, he called the Jersey Village police station to let them know that he had located Sydney Marcus. When I first heard the news, I was ecstatic, so glad that this nightmare is finally over. The police have her. They're finally going to get her the help that she needs. But this could not be further from the truth. Deeply concerned by the lack of mental health advocacy on law enforcement's side. At the very least, she should have been taken.
And the person that found her, they say they let her go. She should not be alone. She knew she took someone's car and left it, but I don't know if she knows the extent of her missing person status. Someone from your family or friends should go get her because she did not seem like she could survive without someone.
Been taken to the nearest emergency department for a proper mental health evaluation by a psychiatrist, especially given her previous diagnosis of bipolar disorder. This topic is already widely recognized in public health. We see this when elderly people go missing with dementia or Alzheimer's and they don't have their medication. They are taken more seriously than my sister with bipolar, who does not have the mental capacity to make her own decisions.
I didn't agree with this, that she said that Alzheimer's patients are taken more seriously than her sister, because we used to have a neighbor, and he would try to come to our house, and if I seen him outside, and he was a preacher, you guys, and but when he would get off, when he was bad, you know, he would say really inappropriate things and try to touch me and things like that, and not, you know, like that, but just, you know, unwanted. And so, and they wouldn't take him because he knew it, he would know what to say to them, you know. So I don't agree with that.
Decisions. I thank everyone for continuing to share her story, share her face, getting the.
So I just felt like it was right for me to show both sides, and there is definitely something but we have to think that at least she was found now twice, and she's getting the help that she needs now. So we have to be very, very, very thankful for that. But today we're here to talk about four beautiful children, you guys. They let me go ahead and get their stats out to you guys, and I did make a community post with their oh, Brad, yeah, probably so. You could definitely be right. So let me show you. I made a community post so you guys could share that too, if you wouldn't mind. And the help numbers are also scrolling across the bottom of my screen and in my description, like they always are, you guys. So first, let me tell you guys, this is Hazel Ray Seymour, and she's 7 years old. She's 3 feet 4 inches tall, 40 pounds, has hazel eyes and light brown hair. And this is Levi Parker Seymour, and he is 8 years old. He is 3 feet 10 inches tall, 50 pounds, blue eyes, and light brown hair. And this is Landon Howell Seymour, and he's 11 years old, and he's 4 foot 8 inches tall, 105 pounds, gray eyes, and light brown hair. And these are all siblings. And this is Jacob Kurt Brady, and he's 3 years old, 3 feet tall, 35 pounds, brown eyes, and light brown hair. All of these are children of Elleshia Seymour. The first three that I showed you, they have one father, and his name is Kendall, and he goes by Kenny Seymour. And the last little fella that I showed you guys, he is by a different father, but they all have the same mother here, Elleshia Ann Seymour, and they say she also goes by L. McKinnon Brady, and she is a white female who is 5 feet 3 inches tall and 121 pounds. She has hazel eyes and brown hair. And there's them all together with their dad. That's Kenny. Kenny has been the more outspoken father. And you guys know that we don't. Hey, Music City Mom, good to see you. You guys know that we don't judge. If some parents of missing children, if they can be in the spotlight and do want to speak out, we think that, I think that's great, but I'm glad that I wish they wouldn't come to YouTube to spread awareness. I'll tell you that for sure. But if they don't want to be in the spotlight, we don't judge about that. I don't judge about that. So Kenny, the last guy that I showed, the outspoken father, him and Elleshia, they were married for many years, and they've been divorced almost 6 years now. So he had the children back. Both of the fathers share custody with her, and he had the children back, and he took them, and I haven't been able to find an exact date. It always says between the 24th and the 25th. And so he took the children back to her, and then it comes to December the 2nd, and his babysitter calls and said, your kids are missing, why aren't they here? And he said that he thought, well, she's overreacting at first, maybe. But so they go to her apartment for a wellness check, and the door is unlocked, and they go inside, and they find a to-do list about shredding documents and burner phones and things like that. And they also find a letter saying that she'll be in Italy by Christmas. So then after that happens, then they find out that on the 29th, 11/29, she took the children on an international flight that went from Amsterdam to Croatia. And that is the last things that they know for sure. And what makes this case even more concerning is the beliefs that they, Music City Mom says you never know how you would respond exactly. And I really, really pray that none of us know. None of us ever find out, because, friend or foe, I hope none of us ever find out. But so I wanted to show you guys why a few days after the children went missing, Kenny's sister found Alicia's her TikTok, and that made them even more and more concerned. And you guys, I'll just tell you right off, they are likening this case to Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. And I saw even one article called her the Doomsday Mom. And that's why I'm really, really concerned about these children too, because we know how that one ended, and it was not good at all. So that's how I wanted to start out, by showing you guys some of the TikToks. So let me show us that. And let me find the ones that I wanted to show you guys. I have them written down. And of course, I had them bookmarked on my TikTok. But when it took me here, I'm not signed in. And if I even tried to remember my stuff right now, it's gonna be bad. Okay, so she started this TikTok back in May. And at first she was just talking about like narcissists and things like that. But it's in June when she starts talking about all these dreams that she has. She's talking about earthquakes and martial law and all kinds of stuff. And let me see here. this one probably first.
Is coming. Be prepared. Okay? Be ready. If you're in the bottom part of an apartment complex, run out the door as fast as you can.
Before this, it was just about these dreams that she had. That this is the first few times that she's talking about specifically, this is definitely going to happen, you know, in her mind. This is when she started talking about that.
Things are going to fall off the walls, and you're going to see the devastations of an earthquake here. Be prepared. Be ready. If you are in the Savior, if you're with the Savior and you're following Him, you will be okay. If you are not, please repent. Say you're sorry. Feel it in here. And turn to your Savior. He will take care of you. Earthquake is coming.
Hey Trista, it's so good to see you. How are you? Are you back at work? And she starts talking about this earthquake a whole lot. She feels like it's going to happen in Salt Lake City. And this one she talks about
Daughter of Light here. I have a message.
She starts talking about how you're going to have to leave your friends and family and things like that. So I thought this one was interesting.
I am coming soon. Light your lanterns, prepare yourselves and your homes, for I am near. Heed my call, hear my voice. This is done by the Spirit. If you cannot hear me now, you will miss me when I come. First, build your relationship with me. Have faith and trust in me only. Do not fear man. I know this is difficult. In order to do so, you must leave this world and be born of me. You must leave your friends, your family, jobs, and homes. This world thrives on fear, sicknesses, unholiness, and explanation. Knowing the whys and the hows keep you distracted from me and what is really happening.
So she's talking about leaving friends and family and things like that. So that obviously caught my eyes and my ears. And I was trying to find out what kind of job she had to try to wonder how much money she could have possibly stashed away, you know, and I couldn't find that. So I have no idea how much money she could have saved. But she also talks about how the electricity is going to go out and it's going to be real cold and things like that. And so my mind, it would have been, we'll go somewhere warm, you know, but she's going to Croatia and things like that. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, on the December the 2nd, when Kendall's babysitter called and told him that his children didn't make it, she calls and leaves a voice message for the other father of the youngest child. And she tells him that they're in France, and the FBI has since found out that she was probably trying to throw them off track because she never was in France.
Matthew 27:51. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. The veil was torn, and there is direct access to me. Yet the world seeks to hide me. Seek me, and you shall find me. Pray to me, and you shall find me. Keep your oil lamps full. Did I not know that I would be betrayed by my own disciple? In John 6:70, it says,
Okay, I don't want to say, you know, that God doesn't. I know that God speaks to people, you know, but when you see everything in full, everything that she says, it's, well, like this one about the zombies. Let me show you this zombies again.
Okay, so this is the third time I've tried posting this, so I'm going to make it quick and try and get it done fast, okay? I had a dream last night, And my dream, hold on. The sun wanted to say hello today. Give me a second. That's better. I had a dream last night, and this dream was about zombies. Now, there are conspiracies. Just for information, everybody, we're going to the moon for the first time. Okay? As I was growing up in school, I am pretty sure I was gaslit into being told that we had already gone. So, a conspiracy is not really a conspiracy. Okay? That's what people say when they don't want to believe something. Alright? This dream was about zombies. And I've had this dream multiple times. And I honestly had forgotten about it. I try and forget about my zombie dreams. And I always thought it stemmed from the fact that I was afraid of zombies. Like, if it's not alive, it should stay not alive, okay? This dream, I was watching people transition, okay? The first time I'm at Walmart, I smelled this terrible stench, like decaying flesh, or, well, it wasn't decaying, it was already decayed, I guess. And it had been sitting. I don't know if anybody has ever smelled that before, just like an animal passes away, like you have a certain amount of time before it starts to smell, okay? And it was an awful smell. And I was at Walmart, and I see this, he's like 6'2" guy that just did not look right. He was in everyday clothes. He was huge, like very well built, but just did not look right. And he starts looking at this one lady, and she's getting her groceries. She is on her phone, and she's very distracted. She's doing her usual grocery shopping, and this man is just staring at her, and he's following her wherever she's going. And he's literally in the middle of Walmart. He's just standing there, okay, not moving, and he's just staring at this lady, like unbothered that other people might find that weird. And she gets in line. She is still on her phone. She's like texting somebody. And he walks up to her. And as he does this, he lunges at her and has some breakfast. Please read between the lines.
Okay, I don't want to freak us out too much, but you get the idea, zombies. And unfortunately, that was a lot in the Daybell case too, right? And then there's another one where she talks about, let me see here.
Okay, so last night.
And this one is about the mirror. And she's not talking about their dreams. She's talking about this really happened to her in her mind.
I had a really weird experience. Does anybody remember how TikTok was doing this trend where everybody was like putting blankets or towels up to the bathroom mirrors, and you could still see on the other side that reflection was doing the same thing, which doesn't make sense because it wouldn't be doing that if it was being covered up, right?
In some of these videos, she's in her car, but some she's like out. One time she was at a pool, and you could hear her kids in the background, and some she does in her home, and you can hear her kids in the background too. Oh, and Kendall, he said that he never, they were LDS. And I think that they both left the church, and he said that he had his kids on the weekend, so he didn't know if she took them to church. She wouldn't have been able to take them to church, because at least on the weekend, because he had them. But he said the only thing that was even kind of off was, well, not off, but now looking back, he says it hits his brain that a few months ago, the kids all came home with cross necklaces, and they said that their mama had been teaching them about Jesus. And he said he thought that was good, but he said these outlandish beliefs, that there was going to be an earthquake in Salt Lake City, and about all this other stuff that, it wasn't, his kids never told him anything like that, and he had no idea.
Well, last night I'm walking my son around. He was having a hard time falling asleep, and so I was just holding him to help him calm down a little bit. And I'm walking into the bathroom where it's dark and there's like a little dim light. And I end up looking in the mirror, and I had this thought to see what would happen, I guess. I guess some people call it playing with fire. Well, I look into the mirror, and I'm like whispering because I don't want to wake my son up. And I said, "Are you me?" It doesn't feel like me. It has my face, but it doesn't look like me, if that makes sense. There's something off about it. And I was like, well, nothing happened. So I did it again. And I said, "Are you me?" And I'm like doing this, like I'm like holding my son, right? He's like up here, and I'm like rocking back and forth. And the reflection, it started lagging. Okay. So I'm moving, and it's just like slowly following me. Whereas if it was a reflection, it would be with me 100%. No, it started slowly following me. Okay. And it's like mirroring me with like a second lag. All right. And then the reflection looks in the other direction, then looks back at me. Okay. I had the worst feeling. Okay. And it was not good. I felt horrible. Something was just not right. And that feeling stayed with me a lot of last night. Okay. So I don't know what is in those mirrors. I don't know what those mirrors are, but they are not us. Okay. They are not us. And don't do that, because we're not doing that again.
Okay, so we can all agree that's not right, right? So that was before she started saying that her dreams were really real, like the earthquake was coming and all that stuff. And her last TikToks were about a month before before she vanished with the children. And this one is
Hi all.
this one was 10/19/25.
I just received a message, and it feels kind of urgent. And I feel prompted to share it now, and it's 11 o'clock at night. I am that great I am. Hear me now. Darkness will consume America. No heat, no air conditioning, no lights, no power. Gather up solar lanterns and lights, batteries, food, blankets, provisions. If you are on a budget, first ask me, and I will show you where to go. If you are not on a budget, first ask me, and I will show you where to go. I have made this distinction because many with riches and material things believe they do not need to ask me, and they also do. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. This is for all, the rich and the poor. Stay away from the pagan holidays. They appear harmless, but are not. They invite darkness into your life. Be holy in all that you do.
Some of these things by themselves wouldn't be alarming. Like a lot of religions think to stay away from the pagan holidays. So that's not that's not bad on its own. But paired with everything else, and she's telling people that this is definitely going to happen, you know. So her TikTok, I don't know how to share it, but it's a daughter of light, all one word. So if you guys want to find that and check it out for yourselves, please do. Now I wanted to share with you guys Kendall, the father of the three oldest. He did an interview with Nate Eaton, and I thought that would be interesting for us to watch too. So I'll
Can you just kind of take me back to the beginning of when you realized that your children were gone with your ex?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I heard was a phone call from, my kid's babysitter that Elleshia hired a long time ago, and she was in a panic and just said, Kenny, I think your kids are missing. And at first I thought she was just being, a little paranoid, but the more she talked, the more I was like, this is serious. I need to start calling a lot of people. And that day, was just chaos of just talking to West Jordan police and her old friends and like trying to find a coworker and talking to her family and trying to figure out what was going on, getting a hold of her ex-boyfriend and trying to piece the story together.
And she's the mother of 3 of your children, right?
Right.
And then the 4th is from another father. So how long were you and Elleshia together?
We were married.
Okay, you guys, I watched this News Nation video before this, and basically it's all that I'm telling you guys, so we won't have to watch it again. But they posted screenshots of I guess they did a FOIA, and they posted some screenshots of those. So I wanted to tell you guys what those said. And yes, I did zoom in and I did copy them, so I'm not too good to zoom in. You feel me? It says when officers arrived at Seymour's residence located at West Jordan, Utah, they found the door unlocked and the apartment unoccupied. Attempts to contact Seymour by phone were also unsuccessful. Seymour's co-worker and friend, so they named 2 people, both reported that they had been unable to contact her since November 29th. Her former boyfriend, and they give his name, advised that Seymour had recently discussed obtaining passports and leaving the country, expressing concerns about biblical events in the end of times. So when Kendall said that he had spoken to her ex-boyfriend, that reminded me about that. And also, guys, they think that he said that to get his children passports, that him and their mother both had to go down and do it, sign right there, both of them. So what they think happened was that she forged the father's name, and I think that they have to be notarized too. So I don't know how she got those papers notarized unless she forged that too. I don't know, but she definitely forged to get their passports.
Married for about 6 years. We've been separated and divorced for about 5 now.
5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Did she ever talk about these religious beliefs, that the world might be ending or things might be, coming to a close?
No, I mean, when we were married, there was nothing like this. We were both grew up, LDS or Mormon, but have left the church since then. But none of these beliefs about end times or Salt Lake specifically being destroyed came about during our marriage or divorce or anything that I knew of.
How did you learn that she was talking about these things recently?
My sister was doing some internet sleuthing the first couple of days and found a TikTok account from her. And starting from May 2025, she started posting a lot of videos to TikTok. And then in the fall, they turned religious and started, declaring that she was relating dreams from God about how Salt Lake was going to be sunk in an earthquake or something, and all these other ideas about destruction and how she had to get out.
Oh, so just recently, well, within the past 4 or 5 months, it really became more and more extreme.
Right.
So, you share custody?
Yes, we had joint physical and legal custody of the kids.
Guys, she's 35 years old, and from her TikToks, at least, it shows that, well, she started that in May, and then these quote unquote dreams, very, very detailed dreams, she started talking about them in June, I believe. So, with Sydney that we just spoke about, they said she had late onset schizophrenia, but she was just in her early 20s, and they even called that late. So I don't think that's what it is. So I wonder if something happened to her, at this time that just caused it all of a sudden. I don't know.
And that's, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I just barely got an approved child protective order that grants me full custody when the kids return.
I see. Okay. So you legally, as of now, have 100% custody of those kids, but obviously they're not here. Have you had any contact with her, or has anybody that you know of had contact with her?
Nothing. She pretty much went dark from everybody that I know that knows her on about the 28th of November, 27th, right after Thanksgiving. She did make a phone call to her ex-husband, claiming to be in France, but I've since learned from the FBI that that was not true. It was just a distraction.
She wasn't in France, but is she in Europe?
All I know really is that she's somewhere in the European Union, in the EU.
Okay. And obviously there's been no communication with your children.
Right.
What's the latest that you can tell us about the investigation? You say the FBI is involved, West Jordan Police. Are other agencies assisting with this?
As far as I know, it's just the FBI. West Jordan Police did the initial investigation and, put, from what I know, like 6 or 7 detectives on it for a week before the FBI picked up the case, and they've been the ones handling, creating the federal charges and the federal warrants and getting those warrants over to Interpol to have them try and convert that into an Interpol warrant. And then there's more resources over there to try and narrow down what country she's in. And from there, it goes to a warrant to that specific country to go and arrest her. But that legal process is tedious.
Yeah. And complicated because so many agencies and countries involved.
Right.
So he said the first week that it was just the West Jordan Police, and after that the FBI became involved. But do you guys think if the FBI would have become involved before that first week was over, that they could have possibly captured her, even in that shorter time? Because the longer it takes, the further away that she could get, it seems like her and 4 kids would stand out speaking a different language,
Did your children ever, before they left, in the fall, did they ever talk about like mom's acting weird or mom's saying weird things?
No, I mean, the only sign of any of this, which is, on its own, completely innocent, was that she bought them like cross necklaces a few months ago and said that they were learning about Jesus. And I went, okay, it's not a big deal if they're just kind of getting a little bit of religious education. That was it. They didn't mention anything else. They didn't even talk about what they learned. Nothing.
You mentioned that you were both members of the LDS Church. You're no longer. Had she walked away from the faith as well, or did she continue to go and raise and take the children to church?
I mean, I always had custody on Sundays, so they didn't attend any religious meetings. So what she did during the week with them, I'm not sure.
I see, but you had them on weekends, so they weren't going to church or anything. So, yeah, you would think somebody buying their kids cross necklaces wouldn't be that big of a thing. Looking back now, do you think that may have been her getting ready for these things, or studying more and more, going in depth about these beliefs?
I mean, it's possible, but I don't think anybody should have any kind of paranoia happening just because their ex buys their kids cross necklaces. I mean, that on its own is pretty innocent.
Right. So a lot of people want to know, what they can do to help. Is there anything that our viewers can do?
I mean, at this point, it's trying to locate her. I have hopes that the FBI has been tracking her this whole time, through digital purchases and, any burner phones she might have acquired. But if you have any contacts out in Europe, there's plenty of images on the GoFundMe and on multiple news articles. Go ahead and share those with people out there. If there's any LDS individuals that know, church members out there, get out to the local communities, because really canvassing that area is nearly impossible. But the more we can get her image out there and knowledge of those 4 kids, the better.
And we have a lot of viewers right now on YouTube that watch us in Europe and might be able to assist or at least keep an eye out. We'll put the photos of your kids up. I know that on your GoFundMe, Kenny, you've talked about maybe going over to Europe to look for them, or at least raise some money. Flights are expensive. Lodging is.
I just dropped his GoFundMe for you guys if you want to check it out. And just remember, like I always tell you guys, to do your due diligence and, donate of your own.
Expensive. If you were to able to get that, would you even know where to start? I mean, that's a large part of the world to go and try to find your kids.
Yeah, I think staying in the States right now is the plan. I don't think there's a purpose in one, or 2 individuals going out there, like, myself trying to go search physically. But I mean, her last known location was Amsterdam. She got off the plane there. So if anybody is willing to, talk to local agencies out there, the beginning of the paper trail is Amsterdam, but that's really, me going out there myself seems a little fruitless. The GoFundMe has been made to have the money ready, so when they do locate her, we can be out there within 24 hours.
I
minimize, the trauma to the kids, because I don't know what that's going to look like when she's, apprehended, and I don't want them to be with a policeman who doesn't speak English for 24 hours, while they're waiting for dad to show up.
Do you know the date that she was confirmed officially in Amsterdam?
I mean, she took a one-way flight from Salt Lake City to Amsterdam on November 30th. So was potentially there on, November 30th at night or December 1st in the early morning.
So over a month now.
Yeah, it's been over a month. So
what would you say your level of concern is? Are you worried? Are you, alarmed? How are you doing?
Yeah. Ask me again in a few hours, it'll be different.
Right.
It's sometimes I feel like I'm in Liam Neeson, do all this legwork of the, investigation myself mode. And sometimes I feel like I'm just breaking down and feeling hopeless. It's pretty up and down. I can put on this face for all these interviews, but, behind cameras, my fiance and I are trading off who's crying each day.
Right.
It's not fun.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you're going through.
And remember that the Daybell children, I can't remember exactly, you guys. It's been a really long time since I looked into that case, but they were thought to be in Idaho, and then remember Chad and Lori were in Hawaii, and that was far enough to try to think that the children were. Unfortunately, we know what happened in that case. I don't even want to mention it here because I don't want to put that out. But just imagine if it was not just one other country that they had to look for, but all of Europe. I can't imagine
this. I hard to not have answers, or at least, some solid clues.
Right.
Have you followed any of the other cases of women who have, taken their kids because they fear the end times are coming? I mean, it's kind of been in the news the past few years with the Lori Vallow case, Jody Hildebrandt, others like that. Have you been up to date on those type of things?
I mean, I've heard about them over the years, but I'm not doing any research into them. I mean, even if they are similar, I think the toll on my mental health wouldn't be worth it. It wouldn't change the way that I act day to day and the amount of work that I'm doing to try and find them.
Right.
So I don't think it's worthwhile to look into that. But obviously, it's in the back of my mind because everybody mentions it on every video. There's always somebody in the comments saying Lori Vallow.
Right.
So,
Probably a smart thing for you at this point, not to go down that lane, to just focus on your kids. Well, Kenny, I appreciate you chatting with me, and I hope that, you know, there can be some breaks here in the next few days, hours. Is there anything that you want to add? Anything you want our viewers to know?
I mean, if there's a message to be learned from this, people should be taking advantage of the State Department's passport flagging program. You can, you know, request that if somebody tries to get passports for your kids, you get alerted, and they can block that application going through. And if I had known that and done that 2 months ago, none of this would have happened. So if you have any concerns at all about, you know, an ex or a soon-to-be ex doing something like this, go ahead and flag their passports with the State Department. Do an issuance alert.
That's interesting. I didn't know that you could do that. And funny you said that, because our kids' passports are up, and in order for us to renew them, both my wife and I have to go down.
I had no idea you could do that either. So it would be worthwhile for anybody that shares joint custody to put that in. So if the other parent applies for that they'll be notified. I had no idea about that.
Together to sign for it. So somehow was your ex able to get the passports without your knowledge, or is this something you guys got years ago together?
No. So yeah, the easiest way to get them is to both show up to the office, but there are forms where you can sign and get it notarized and not show up physically to the office. And so it's, you know, my belief that she just forged back the signatures there. And that's something that the State Department will look into once she's found as investigating that passport fraud.
Right. Real quick, can you tell me the names and ages of your kids?
Well, there's Landon, he's 11. Levi is 8, and Hazel is 7. My last name is all Seymour.
Okay. Well, again, wishing you all the best, and yeah, keep us updated on the break.
That is a good question, Brad. And I actually forgot to tell you guys that. So after that, he couldn't get a hold of them on December the 2nd. It was on December the 10th when the Utah Department of Public Safety, they issued missing and endangered alerts for all the children. So that was on the 10th. And then on the 16th, they charged Elleshia with 4 counts of custodial interference and removing child from the state, 3rd-degree felonies. So, and each of those carries up to 5 years in prison. So if they stack those, then she's facing up to 20 years, I think. I don't know if they can stack those, but you think 4 times 5 is 20. So, yeah. So, I think that's all that I have for you guys today about that case. That's really all that they've put out. I do have their photos and their missing flyers on my community post. If you guys want to check those out, please absolutely do. Now we can get to the good story for today, and it was actually Christmas Day in Porter, Texas, and it was around 5 p.m. and a 15-year-old went to walk the family dog, right? And when she didn't come back, her parents became concerned and used Find My iPhone. And they were able, her dad traced her to about 2 miles away from the home in a wooded area. And a 23-year-old had his clothes off, and we can imagine what he was going to do, right? So the parents called police and stuff like that, and the family didn't know him, and the little girl didn't know him. And so the dad found her before authorities were even got to the scene, so thank God for that. But so there is a video that I wanted to show you guys about that, and then I'll let you guys go. And this has happened more than once. I actually found another case a few years ago about this. The same thing happened, thank God. And hopefully the dad found her before. You guys know what I'm saying.
And good evening to you. I am Tom Ziska. We are glad to have you with us. We begin with a Porter man locked up tonight, accused of kidnapping a 15-year-old girl on Christmas Day. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office says the father of the teen was able to alert police after he found his daughter using a parental control on her phone, which allowed him to check her location. Fox 26's Angie Rodriguez is here with that story. Angie.
Yeah, it's an application that many parents have, something like Life 360 or Find My iPhone. It's a type of software that allows parents to check on their kids' location, but sharing that information is a sensitive topic, as some people think those apps are too good to have. Others think just the opposite.
I know as a teenager you might not want your parent tracking you, but when it comes to things like that, I mean, that could have been a really bad situation for her.
Family-wise, I feel like that's okay, but social media is pushing it.
Sharing your location. It's a divisive topic. Some think it's good for minors, while others think applications have too much sensitive information. But according to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, location tracking is exactly what helped a Porter father find his...
Sorry, I don't know what was up with the closed caption, and that wasn't English or any other. I've messed up my closed caption in trying to translate Sydney's case last week.
15-year-old daughter after she was allegedly kidnapped while walking her dog on Christmas Day. This is 23-year-old Giovanni Rosales Espinosa. He's accused of kidnapping the teen by threatening her with a knife from his car. The girl's father found her phone pinged to a nearby wooded area just 2 miles away. And when he pulled up to the scene, he found Espinosa half naked with his daughter and her dog in the vehicle.
This is one of the ways that smartphones and technologies serve a positive purpose. You know, they're often seen as the boogeyman, and social media and smartphone use is they're creating terrible people and the world is falling apart. But in reality, they have some good uses. And one is when your kids are younger, they do serve as a way to monitor your kids, where they are, what they're doing.
Jeff Temple is a professor and psychologist at UT Health Houston, and he says this case could have been a matter of life or death.
I do think that it is really important to communicate both.
It was absolutely life or death. How many cases have we looked at where children have been kidnapped, and especially by strangers, and it not end up well? You know, it was absolutely life or death.
Both ways, from kid to parent and parent to kid, about how you're going to use this function. In the case with Porter, it worked out beautifully. It worked out as it should, and a life was likely saved because of this function. But we want to make sure that we don't over-police, and we want to make sure that we're communicating with our kids about when we use it, when we should use it, and have that sort of open communication so that the kids know that you're using it when it's appropriate and that you only use it.
Guys, so when I was looking back at the other case in my notes, a dad actually saved his daughter the same way in April 2025 in Harris County, so Texas too. So I know Texas is a big place, but geez, just in the last few months, you know, it's happened twice.
It when it's appropriate.
And Temple continues to say that monitoring your child's location can become excessive. He says paying too much attention can be just as bad as none at all. Now, according to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, we know Espinosa is being held without a bond at the Montgomery County Jail, and the investigation is still ongoing. In the studio.
Well, that's good. He absolutely doesn't need bond. No way. Okay, guys, I think that's all that I have for you today. Thistle actually was the one that told me about this case. So, and I don't care a bit to spread awareness any way that I can, you guys. So if you ever have a case, you can leave it in my comments or you can email me. Please feel free to reach out. I know, Brat. I know, absolutely a creep. Okay, you guys, I am going to share their flyer one more time, and it is in my comments. On my community tab. So I am going to play the intro and play us out. And I love you guys. And don't forget to say your prayers and take your vitamins. Absolutely. We're in the winter time. We need all the vitamins we can get. But check with your doctor, of course. Okay, love y'all. Bye bye.
They tell me I'm small, but I've learned small faith moves mountains. This platform might look quiet right now, but purpose doesn't need permission. Sometimes the smallest voices are trusted with the biggest stories. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never ever know what love can do once it's shared. I'm not rich in numbers, not loud on the screen, but every case I cover got weight in between. Faces on flyers, names people forget. I speak them out loud so they're never silenced. Yet I don't chase clout, I chase truth. Every live stream feels like a prayer in the booth. For the mom still waiting, the dad still searching, for the families hurting while the world keeps turning. They say, what can one voice read do? But I've seen hope rise when a community moves. So I show up steady, even when it's heavy, trusting God with the parts I can't carry. Got it all, that's why I pray. I lift the names when I can't find words to say. Small but mighty, walking by faith. If I can't change it all, I still believe change can start today. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. For the lost, the missing, led astray. This platform's small, but God's not contained. And we never know what love can do once it's shared. Every time I go live, I ask one thing: send prayers up higher than algorithms, because awareness is good, but faith goes further, and prayer reaches places we never could. I don't promise answers, I promise care. A space where compassion still lives right here. Victim-focused, truth-driven, heart-led, always standing in the gap on the hardest days. If you're watching this tide, scared or alone, I hope you feel seen through the screen in your home, because God hears whispers, not just the loud, and He's working right now, even in the crowd. So we pray for the missing every single time. We pray for the answers in God's perfect time. Small seeds planted, faith multiplied. Miracles don't need a spotlight. I don't got it all, that's why I pray. Still believing God's moving, even today. Small but mighty, called by name. And I trust what He's doing even when I can't see the way. This is Mo and Cole. Say a prayer for the missing. Say a prayer for their families. And before you go, say your prayers. Take your vitamins. And remember, even something small can do really big things.